Welcome back to Candy Adventures. I'm Chris.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And today we're going to go over our Beverly Hillbillies style rig that we have currently parked here in sunny New Mexico and explain to you what all we have going down the highway and where exactly we're headed, because we're doing full-time truck camper RV life officially starting today.
So let's get started and kind of show you what our setup looks like.
Let's make sure our cameraman's paying attention. Mona, are you paying attention? Oh, nope, she lost the camera. We're currently halfway through our trip between Asheville, North Carolina and coastal California. And to get to this point, first we had to do some vehicle maintenance. Everything needed brakes, everything needed oil changes, fuel filters, everything needed everything. Then we jammed everything we own into a 5x15
storage unit.
And now we're here. So let's take a walk around and look to see how we got from Asheville, North Carolina to here with a few quick stops. We tried to hit Bass Pro Shop in Memphis, Tennessee.
So a good start to our trip is that we drove 8 hours straight to get to this Memphis Bass Pro Pyramid because we stayed here before. And as soon as we pull up, there's a security car and a Memphis police officer. They had just that day 6 break-ins into their vehicles in their parking lot. So we didn't really feel comfortable staying. There was only one other camper in the parking lot, which is a pretty good sign that other people weren't comfortable staying there either.
Then we went to the most secure, famous place in the world for RVs to have a quick stayover, and that's Cracker Barrel. And of course we had an awesome stayover in their parking lot.
We have found a nice comfy spot at Cracker Barrel for our first night on the road for our trip to California after Bass Pro was a big sketchy letdown after 9 hours of driving. So there's that. But we pre-made some shrimp and chicken thighs. So we are moving up from canned meat. This is all meal prep for real additions to our instant ramen. And we're using our Van Powers battery pack to boil our water so we don't have to turn on the propane.
Because we don't want to turn on the propane because it is about 92 degrees right now here in Memphis, Arkansas, right on the Mississippi River. And doing the Lord's work over here is Mr. Ryobi. And then we went to
Love's truck stop. So we've slowly been finding that Love's has started making RV spots available to people. And we wanted to try it out. We had already driven like 6.5 hours and we were pretty tired. And it was amazing. A little pricey, but fantastic all across the board. Welcome to Love's. It's like welcome to Moe's.
Little pricey, but in a pinch, this is awesome.
When you're just tired of driving, it's right here. And they have a dog park and showers and food.
50-watt hookups, 50 amp and 30 amp and water and sewer and a little shower room in case your truck camper is like ours and you don't want to go to the bathroom and take a shower in your camper. You can go do it in theirs. It's like $43, full hookups. So we don't have a black water tank, but if you have a black hookup, they have it.
Yeah.
Water, clean bathrooms, everything was clean and brand new concrete pad. I hope our old 7.3 didn't leave them a couple drips. Fingers crossed, because you never know, but it probably did. Yeah. Then we packed up and headed to here, which is in Santa Rosa, New Mexico on Santa Rosa Lake, which is our favorite little stopover in New Mexico because it's not far from I-40, full hookups, clean, and it's like $13 a night.
Yeah, it's $14 for electric, and then you pay $10 extra if you have an extra vehicle, which we do, which is still really cheap. Showers and hookups and all that good stuff.
Now let's go over our Beverly Hillbillies style nonsense that we have rolling down the highway currently and go over a fun new addition to the lineup here because Elizabeth now has her motorcycle license.
I do.
So this is our fun new addition so that we can both ride a motorcycle around the PCH highway and explore some of those awesome back roads. This is a 2008 Suzuki Bergman. It is about as much of a motorcycle as this Honda Ridgeline is a truck. In theory and in principle, it mostly is a motorcycle like this mostly is a truck. This is actually a scooter. This is a big 400cc scooter that has a lot of storage compartments, very similar to this. A lot of storage compartments, kind of goofy, but super fun and super practical. And on this channel, you know, we like kind of goofy and fun.
Yeah, fun things. So I got my motorcycle safety course for my birthday and I passed, and I got my motorcycle endorsement on my license. So we're kind of borrowing this to take to California, and I'll be riding it. I've never actually ridden on the road before, only around like grass and dirt and stuff. So this will be a nice introduction to roads and parking lots because it has no clutch, so I can focus more on everything that's going on around me and less on not stalling.
You can see our Honda Ridgeline is doing the Lord's work here. We got quite a bit of squat. Honda says this thing's supposed to have 1,500 pounds of payload. That was in 2008, so I don't know if the springs have given up the ghost a little bit because we do not have 1,500 pounds of weight inside this vehicle, but she's squatting down, but pretty even tire wear. But it's a truck, doing truck work, pretty much.
And with this payload and it's squatting, it's still getting 18 miles to the gallon on the highway, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, not too bad for it being completely maxed out and being a 2008.
Then of course, if you've never seen our setup before, we do have a CRF 300L. This is our dual sport that we usually rode 2-up on for adventures / an emergency vehicle. So we have that in the back, and Chris will be riding that.
We used to haul it on the front right here on a hitch hauler, but because we're taking everything we own to live full-time in a truck camper, this has our generator and a bunch of our tools. So we didn't have room for the hitch hauler, and because we had to bring the Honda anyway, it just made more sense to put both motorcycles in the back of the truck, not truck.
Truck, not truck. Then of course we have our beautiful bright red Ford F-250 7.3 liter diesel truck that is carrying our North Star truck camper, our pop-up.
This thirsty old queen's only getting about 13 to 14 miles per gallon, which is still doable because it does have, it's probably maxed out on its payload with the truck camper. And then behind it, it is pulling our boat.
So this is our boat that we had shipped all the way from Guam when we made really smart financial decisions and took out a loan for this thing. So it came with us, and it's an aluminum cuddy boat. It's probably the lightest boat that we could pull for the size behind this truck, but we've used it to transport all of our other things.
It was light, but hiding in here is 2 e-bikes, one of which you have not seen yet, and we still have to do a review on, and that review will be coming in California. The other one you have seen a review on. But inside of here is all our oil change equipment, jack stands, our canopy to cover the boat, and again, more tools.
And our spare tire for the Honda Ridgeline, because if we had an oopsie on the road, we can't take the motorcycles off to access the spare tire that's underneath the motorcycles, so it had to ride separate.
Yep, the Honda Ridgeline, the spare tire is not under the vehicle, it's actually under the bed, under a hatch. So if you have something in the bed, you cannot access the spare tire, so quick little workaround. Another thing that we're putting to the test, I don't know if many people on the channel know, but we had a swing away hitch installed right here where this big beautiful Band-Aid is now. And that big beautiful Band-Aid is on there because in South Carolina on I-95 on the super bumpy roads, our swing away hitch failed. The actual hinges on the swing away hitch failed, which I don't know why, because the hitch was rated to double the capacity that we actually have on this trailer. The reason we had a swing away hitch is because when we shipped this boat from Guam, to fit it in a shipping container, the hitch needed to swing back. It was also handy about swinging back, putting it in a garage or in any kind of storage, but that ended up failing and almost was catastrophic. Luckily, we found a shop in South Carolina on the side of the highway on a weekend that welded us up this super strong bracket, this brace over top, and on inside there's
also a tube,
4x4 tube welded up, and then on the outside there's 2 giant pieces of angle iron welded up. So this is probably the strongest part of this entire setup, is this little foot-long section right here.
And Chris painted it blue to just really accentuate how special and strong it really is.
We wanted to get some acrylic paint now that it's all painted and make it look like a Band-Aid. Get some flesh-colored Band-Aid paint.
I'll give you a custom Band-Aid paint job on
that would be hilarious.
So you can see we've brought a lot of stuff with us, and that's because we like to do a lot of different things, and it's hard to not bring those things because, you know, if you're on the Pacific Coast Highway, you're like, oh man, everybody wants to ride a motorcycle along the Pacific Coast Highway, or, oh, we're in coastal California, wouldn't it be awesome to go fishing? And you have all of these things and you want to do all of those things. So we wanted to take it all with us, basically.
And the job that we've applied for has us living full-time in this camper, pretty remote. We're probably an hour away from any kind of real services. So
Yeah.
that's why we have gas cans and generators and solar and multiple ways in case something breaks down to get to an auto zone. We spend a lot of time in an auto zone on this channel with all our old clapped out stuff that we take care of all the time.
Nothing ever really goes to the mechanic because this is the mechanic right here.
I'm a horrible mechanic. But that's our setup. We're here in beautiful Santa Rosa, New Mexico, which is about halfway point between Asheville, North Carolina and coastal California where we're headed. And we love stopping here because it's only like 8 or 10 miles off of I-40.
And it's super quiet and remote, and it's just desert with a lake.
And there's mule deer. We flushed a grouse this morning. Just a really beautiful spot. And it's cheaper than the Love's truck stop.
Yeah.
So if you're crossing the country in an RV and would like to stay the night, this place is awesome. So we're just kind of stretching our legs because we've been doing, this is our 4th day on the road.
Each day is about 7 hours of driving. That's not including the stops.
Then every time we stop, it's so many wheels going down the road. It's a lot of checking the oil on all this drippy shit we drive. It's checking the tire pressure. I've got some uneven tire wear right now on the back of the F-250, so I'm always looking at that.
Checking all the straps for the motorcycle tie downs just to make sure that they didn't loosen up or move.
So much stuff, and so it gets exhausting. And then we're trying to save money, so instead of hitting fast food, we meal prepped on the way out here, and we cooked a 16-pound turkey and shredded it up into
Like small little pieces.
little tubs.
Yeah.
And so that we can portion it out every day. We have turkey wraps and turkey roll-ups and turkey ramen noodle and
Yep. We also cleaned out what was left in our freezer, which was like a 5-pound bag of chicken thighs and an entire package of bacon. So we just basically cooked all the meat we have. Nothing like some chipotle mayo, shrimp, bacon, Munster cheese wraps with some Diet Coke to complement our road trip.
because we're trying to save as much money as possible. That's why we're staying at Love's Truck Stops, these $10 a night places. We're staying at places, Cracker Barrel tonight. We hope to be staying at another Cracker Barrel. Trying to do this as frugally as possible. We think we have about 2 more days on the road and then we'll finally be there. And for us, we've never done like a work camper position. And the campground that we're staying in, there's not a ton of online info about it. So it's sort of exciting and terrifying knowing that we're moving everything that we own to this campground, which is an hour away from the closest city.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. And the exciting thing about this campground, which we haven't shared yet, is that it's currently closed to the public. So we will be the only people in this
whole campground for the foreseeable future.
We tried to look it up on the internet and it looked like that maybe could be December, January, maybe it'll reopen, but it's currently August, early August. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be in a campground in the middle of nowhere alone.
Yeah.
What we think is
there might be a few other employees, but there's definitely no public access.
So it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be pretty much, we're just going to be us and the Wendigos out there in the middle of California trying to get along.
Don't forget the mountain lions.
Yes, that's the most terrifying animal on planet Earth. I've never seen one in real life. Look forward to seeing one at some point, but they absolutely terrify me.
You know, the last time we talked about mountain lions on
This
the
same
channel was
campground.
here at this campground.
This same campground. Once I get in mountain lion country, I always feel like I'm being watched, and it's either the Wendigo or it is the mountain lion.
So you're not scared of Bigfoot then?
No, me and Bigfoot are close.
Oh, okay.
Me and Bigfoot are close.
Do you see that she's stopping in all the shade spots?
Yeah, she's finding all the shade. Our camera operator over here.
She goes into one shady spot until we pass, then jumps to the next shady spot. The thing that we were nervous about when leaving was that there was this big heat wave going across the country, conveniently all along 40, where campgrounds were hitting a high of like 105 to 107. And so when you're thinking about boondocking or camping for free in a Cracker Barrel parking lot and the evening only gets to a low of 98, we were sort of worried about that, but I think it just died down recently. It was 80 in the Cracker Barrel that we stayed at the other night, which wasn't too bad with our Ryobi fan. And this next Cracker Barrel we're hitting is in Flagstaff, and it's supposed to be in like the 50s.
Yeah, the elevation will help us there.
Yeah.
A lot. And then, of course, Love's truck stop, and then this campground, which we didn't hook up to electric last night because it was breezy and we didn't need to for the AC. Our RV AC works awesome in this camper.
Yeah, so we did take full advantage of that at the Love's truck stop and had probably a 5-hour crisp, cool AC nap, dinner, and then crisp, cool AC sleep.
So the plan today, when we get back from this little hike, is to do our second to last leg and get us to Flagstaff, Arizona, where we'll most likely be staying in a Cracker Barrel again. And then after that, hopefully one more leg into Bakersfield, California area. And then we'll wake up that morning and meet our new boss, I assume, to go try out our new campground.
So what's weird about this trip is that Chris and I have never driven separate before. We've always been in one vehicle together, and I'm the co-pilot to feed him and change podcasts. And so I'm curious as to how you've been spending your time in the truck camper without me in it, driving it.
It's mostly listened to podcasts. I have started listening to Sean Ryan's podcast.
Oh.
I spent most of yesterday pissed off listening to the podcast with the Marine who was a double amputee from the withdrawal of Afghanistan and how that was handled. So I spent most of yesterday listening to a 5-hour long podcast getting pissed off to how the U.S. government handled that fiasco.
Okay, so it wasn't that you were pissed off at the man himself or
No,
the Sean
no.
Ryan podcast, but what the
government,
content was about.
How they treated that man and how they treated the Afghanistanis. And I knew it was a bad situation, but I had no idea how bad it was and the leadership decisions that were made on the final hours of pulling out of Afghanistan. So I spent most of yesterday absolutely pissed off at the U.S. government. And but that's nothing new on this channel.
No.
Disliking the U.S. government. Love the country, don't like the government.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
She getting a zoom. Uh-oh. 4 days in the truck camper. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You good, girl? You tired of being in the truck? She's having an awesome time cooling down because it's about 85 degrees, probably be 90, 95 here in New Mexico once the day carries on a little longer.
This water feels really good though. I'll be honest, it would be refreshing to jump in all the way if I didn't just shower. No, don't get me wet.
All right, we're gonna finish stretching our legs. We're gonna head back up to the truck and camper, get everything hooked back up, get on down the road and head towards Flagstaff, Arizona.
For the next Cracker Barrel. Oh boy.